Hello. Morning folks, so today we are in Ruddington in Nottinghamshire, just out of the city of Nottingham. We're on a little local walk and this one's going to be about 6.5 miles in distance. So we'll walk starting at Ruddington. We're going to pass the 50 Steps Bridge, then along the Grand Central Railway line, and then we'll head over to Bunny and then through Bunny to Bradmore and then eventually heading back to Ruddington. So please join me. Once stood here the parish chapel of St Mary's. The original church for the parish was that of St Peter's, which was positioned on Flawford Lane, which is just over a mile away from where we are standing, and believed to have dated back to the 9th century, although that church was demolished in 1779. Anyway, when the church was demolished, the discovery of 3 alabaster figures were found, which represent St Peter, Our Lady, and a bishop. Nottingham alabaster is a term used to refer to the English sculptural industry, usually small religious carvings which were created between the 14th and 16th centuries. These carvings are in view at Nottingham Castle Museum now. It is believed they were hidden after the dissolution of the monasteries in 1539. Afterwards, St Peter's was rebuilt on these grounds in 1824, with funds coming from the local community as well as from Farlow Mills of Ruddington Hall, an American industrialist, and the sisters Lucy and Anne Paget of Ruddington Grange. Charles Paget was a British politician of the 1800s. He and his family of 6 children lived at the Ruddington Grange. When visiting Filey in North Yorkshire with his second wife Eliza, they were drowned by a freak wave. So we're just approaching the historical 50 Steps Bridge, although over the years it's actually have more steps because it's been modernised. It was built in 1889 and it crosses, as you can see under the roots of the steps, is a railway line. That's the Great Central Railway line. We'll talk about that later. We're going to walk along over the bridge and then we'll walk alongside the railway line as we head up towards Bunny. Right, first task of the day. We've got a muddy track to walk down. Which way? village of Bunny dates back over 1,000 years, although the parish church of St Mary's dates back to the 14th century. The most significant building is Bunny Hall, built in the 1570s, known by the Parkyns family for 300 years. Sir Thomas Parkyn, 1662 to 1741, known as the Wrestling Baronet, as he enjoyed wrestling and used to hold an annual wrestling match on Bunny Park, part of the estate to the hall. Wrestling matches continued for over 80 years, with a prize of a gold-laced hat. Since the Parkyns left the hall, it has crossed over to a few families and in more recent years became part of derelict until a property developer overhauled a large renovation project which is now up for sale via Savills at a cool £3.5 million. I will leave a link in the description if you're interested in buying it. Sir Thomas Parkins also built the school and almshouses. Above the door we see the inscription Scientia non habet inimica nisse ignoratum dosque vel dicide nemo hinc equitadro ignagris arithmetis. Sorry for any scholars if I have butchered that pronunciation of that Latin, but it means knowledge has no enemy except ignorance. Learn or leave, no one from here will step out ignorant in maths. So an example of window tax. So back in, I think it was the 1700s, they had a law that came out. There was a window tax. You would pay a tax for all the windows in your property. So a lot of people used to brick in the windows so they didn't have to pay so much tax on their windows. A wall with windows. It's got its own chimney and even a little hatchway. Interesting. Okay, so we're on our way to Bradmore, but we have come across a problem. I'll show you now. We'll look the opposite way. We're going to go over a swamp. It's a bit flooded. It's a bit frozen as well, and I think we're going that way. So I don't know how we're going to get across this field because we're heading up that direction. Well, I managed to get past the stile. Not sure how we're going to get past this bit. Right, we've got another lake to cross, so here we go. Usual thing, not looking where we're going, slipped. Yeah, I think we made it. Delightful flooding. The weather forecast got it wrong. It said it was between 4 degrees and 0 and very frosty. It's a gorgeous day and it's well over 9 degrees I would have thought. 10, 11 degrees I would have thought. Nice sunny day. Just a bit wet underfoot. Anyway, we're heading over to Bradmore now. Now Bradmore originally used to be a farming community in which it had 2 mills, 2 windmills either end of the village. Used to farm wheat and corn. Funny enough, one of my relatives lives in Bradmore. Very close. Hello. Oh, he's coming back in. He looks like he's got myxomatosis though. This is Rushcliffe Country Park, in the area of 210 acres. The park is on the site of a Ministry of Defence Royal Ordnance Factory. Commissioned in 1940 as a filling and storage facility, or that was its cover. It was actually made as a bomb factory, known for ladies to be working at the bomb factory. At the end of their shift, but they would come out looking yellow of the sulfate. The site used to have 200 buildings on it, with up to 6,000 workers during World War II. After the war, it was decommissioned and became a storage area for ex-military vehicles, where you could buy the vehicles through an auction site, but eventually it closed in 1985. Also, during the construction, a rail line and terminal buildings were built, which is now home to Great Central Railway Museum and Heritage Centre. The route now consists of 10 miles of line from Loughborough to 50 Steps Bridge, where we walked alongside and over earlier. Now, I guess that's a small house. I'm guessing it's a knitter's house. The first knitter's frame was invented in 1589 by William Lee of Kelverton. This made it possible for knitted products to be made 100 times faster than by hand. This started the mechanics of the textile industry, which became a key role to the Industrial Revolution. By the start of the 19th century, a population of 2,500 had formed in the village as the manufacturing of cotton thrived. Houses and frame shops were built. Right guys, that's another walk completed. We are back in Ruddington, where we started this walk earlier today. Now, a bit shorter than usual, as it's a local lockdown walk, but we completed about 6.5 miles. But it's been nice, great day, nice pleasant day. A little bit flooded in places, but can't ask for everything. But a nice warm day, a lot warmer than the forecast predicted. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. Plenty more walks coming along this way, and if you haven't subscribed, then please do. A like to the video would be great, and feel free to put a comment. So until then, look after yourselves, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye, hikers.